Hey guys, welcome back to 25 Sweetpeas. So today I have part 2 of Essie's best sellers live swatching videos. So basically that is what it is. I'm going to show you more of their best selling polishes live so you guys can make your own judgments. So let's take a look at these. First up today, I'm going to be showing you Fashion Playground, which is a minty shade that has a slight shimmer. So let's put that on one nail. Like in past videos, I'm going to be showing you a different polish on each nail just so we can cut down on time, but you guys can see it all at once. So this one is very thin, as you can see. It is streaky and it tends to roll towards the sides, which I'm not a huge fan of. Right now you can tell it is going to be that minty green color, but that shimmer is not showing up at all. Next up, while that one is drying, we're going to put it on another one, and this one is called For the Twill of It, which is really neat. It's kind of, like a gunmetal-y base with purple and green, and right there on the edge you get kind of a goldish, but you don't really see that on your nail. You get more of the purple, pink, and green. So let's put that on this nail real quick and see how that one applies. I have already swatched these, and I will go ahead and tell you guys right now. This one is my favorite for sure. This one's a unique one for Essie because Essie doesn't tend to have unique polishes, if that makes sense. They usually stick with creams, but this is not, and it's really pretty. I know it's not showing its full shimmeriness on camera. Let's see if a flashlight helps. There you go. You can kind of see the purpley pink bit coming through. So there is one coat of For the Twill of It. And while that's drying, we're going to go apply our second coat of Fashion Playground. And again, I already said I've swatched these all for the photos that you guys are going to see afterwards. And for this one I was really excited about because I love a good minty color, but the formula, just not a fan of. I mean, that's 2 coats and it's still streaky and patchy. So I'm just not thrilled. Next up, we are going to go ahead and put on our second coat of For the Twill of It, which is a really gorgeous color. We are going to achieve full coverage in this second coat, and it is just really, really pretty. You do have to be a tad bit careful about brush strokes, but this one is not that bad. And with top coat, you really can't tell if there are brush strokes or not. So just something to be aware of. You don't need to freak out about it on that one because it's not going to be as much of an issue. I'm going to bring the flashlight back in and hopefully you can see even more. Nope, I'm totally just blinded you guys. I'm sorry. There you go. Now you can see the purple showing through. It really is a pretty polish and unique for Essie, which is exciting. I believe this one came out in like a fall or winter line a few years ago. So now, while we wait for that one, actually we're done with that one. I'm gonna go ahead and put a third coat on Fashion Playground. Now typically for swatches I just do 2, just so you guys know, because most people have that philosophy of if it's more than 2 coats you don't really care for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you for those who do have the patience for 3 coats and see if we finally get full coverage, which 3 coats is also what is going to be pictured in just a few moments. So 3 coats, we're close to full coverage. I mean, there are still a few spots that I'm not crazy about, but for the majority of it, I'm okay with it. So there is 3 coats, and you guys can decide what you guys think. If you do thin coats, you are definitely gonna need 3. If you do really thin coats, if you do thick or thin coats, you are definitely gonna need 3. But if you do super, super thin ones, you might need 4. I mean, it is still kind of translucent in spots. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so for some reason my camera stopped and I just put on the second coat of this one, which is clothing optional, and I was just telling you guys about the difference in the lid. So most Essie polishes have an E on the top like that. However, clothing optional does not. Now, I don't know if that's a thing, if there's supposed to be a difference in maybe the formulas, because I know Essie changed their formulas, I'm thinking this year or last year, but I'm not sure. And the bottom is different. So that is what clothing optional looks like. And this is what the bottom of the rest of them look like. So again, I don't know if that means it's a different batch, if it's a different formula, if it's older, if it's newer. If you guys know, though, that would be helpful. You can let me know in the comments below. Kind of interesting to see that, and I wonder why. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and move on to Ladylike, which is right here. This one will be full coverage and 2 coats, just like the last one. And if you do your coats really thin, you might need 3, but I did them fairly thick, so I'm getting away with 2. And there's that one. Again, it's one you're going to want to check your skin tone with in stores. Don't order this polish online, because I feel like there are too many people that would end up being disappointed in how it looks on their skin tone. So now we are moving on to by Me A Cameo, which is really thin, really brush strokey. The other day when I was swatching it, I was having a terrible time getting it, you know, straight enough to photograph, just because nothing was working. So here is our second coat. Honestly, it didn't add to the color all that much, but my nail line is disappearing, so this one is going to be 2 to 3 coats depending on your nail line, and it's really brush strokey. Honestly, I would not grab this polish because of knowing that it's going to be a pain to work with, because brush strokes are just aggravating, to say the least. They really are. And on this one, there is no getting around it. As soon as you get it perfect, another spot gets messed up. So moving on to Penny Talk, which out of the 4 of these, I actually really like Penny Talk. It's more of a metal polish than metallic, because it does kind of all go together. And it looks really nice. It does have a pink tone to it. And as you can see, this one added, you know, like more glittery bits to it, but that is because whenever it dries down, it does go more of a metally finish, which is nice. So there you have it. That is the little nude-like section of this video. So now let's take a look at the swatch photos. Now it is time for the last category of this video, and that is the pinks and the reds, and also because one of them stains. So let's check these out so you guys can see how these guys behave. First up, we have a Muchi, which is a light baby pink, which it is a pretty color. It is a common color that you guys can find out in stores, so it's interesting to see how this one will compare to other pinks out there. As you can see, this is really thin and kind of streaky, and it's kind of doing the same thing the mint did. It is pulling to my edges. So there's one coat of Muchi. Next up, we have Secret Story, which is a brighter pink. It has a hint of like a lavender toned pink, if that makes sense. This is super thin. It's almost like a crelly base, like you could do a pond mani with this, I think. Super thin. However, it does go on a bit more evenly than Muchi. there is one coat of Secret Story. Now we are going to move on to a orangey red shade. This one is called Too Hot. This one is thin and translucent, just like the last pink I showed you. However, it does go on evenly. I definitely think it's going to need a second coat. I mean, you guys can't really see that on camera, but you can still really see through to the nail. Lastly, we are going to, this one is called Fishnet Stockings, which I'll just give you the heads up now, guys. This is the one that stains, which is not surprising. It is a dark red, and dark reds are just known for staining, and this one is no different. It's almost a wine-like red, and it does run down my brush pretty quickly, so you have to be careful. And that is one coat, and even though it does have a bit of a curly-like finish, I cannot see through to my nail line, so I'm actually okay with this one in one coat. Now, if you put on a second coat, it may deepen the color, but I don't think it's going to do that much. So now that the first ones are dry, we're going to go ahead and put on a second coat, because I can promise you those three need a second coat. So the first one is Muchi. It is still a tad bit streaky for my liking. It's very, very similar to the minty color that we looked at earlier, and however, I am going to stop with 2 coats on this one, even though the pictures you are going to see are 3 coats, because it does need 3 coats, because there are still areas that are a bit transparent. Now we are going to move on to Secret Story. Secret Story is full coverage in 2 to 3 coats, depending on how thick you do them. The pictures that you are getting ready to see are 3 coats, but here I am showing you 2. And I say 2 to 3 because, I mean, if you don't have much of a nail line, then you might be able to get away with 2, depending on how thick you do your coats. Now, lastly, we are going to go ahead and put on our second coat of Too Hot, which I believe is full coverage in 2 coats. But again, if you do any of these really thin, you are going to need 2 to 3, because these are thin polishes. But with 2 coats right now, we are good, and I cannot see through to my nail line. So that is the last part of the pinks and the reds. Now let's take a look at the swatch pictures. And here's your final look at all of the polishes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out all the information on these polishes in the description box below, as well as the link to today's blog post, which will have swatch pictures and a description of each polish. And I think that is it. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!